Hi here, Finns here. I'm back for another video, and today I'm going to be doing the Junior Eurovision 2020 split results of this year's results. So yes, the Junior Eurovision Song Contest may be over, but we now know the results and we can analyse them forever. So let's go and see what the results were from both the jury and the online votes, and see what the difference were. Sorry, from either side. So the overall result was, of course, France won with 200 points, followed by Kazakhstan with 152 points, then Spain in third with 133 points, then 1 point below them was the Netherlands, 132 points in fourth place, and then 2 points below that was Belarus in fifth place with 130 points, and then sixth place was Georgia with 111 points. Then the Ukraine in seventh with 106 points, Malta with 100 points, Poland in ninth with 90 points, Russia in 10th with 88 points, Serbia in 11th with 85 points, and Germany coming 12th and last place with 66 points. So let's take a look at the jury and the televote of who they agreed to be in first place, and of course that was France. They both agreed that France should be the winner, both agreeing that France was the number one. And I have to say, they made a good decision. The jury gave France 88 points, while the online voters gave France a whopping 112 points. I have to say, I'm not surprised France won the online vote, because it was coming from France, a big country, can vote for themselves, popular song as well, very age appropriate. But I am surprised they won the jury vote, not saying that in a bad way. But when I think the juries, I always think, they always vote for big voices and big power ballads, and I really thought, Kazakhstan and Georgia would be above France. Cause sometimes they do mark down these kind of songs really and don't always put them as the number one. But it's very nice to see that the juries are now going back to, age appropriate, fun songs that kids will listen to. And they didn't put a big heavy power ballad at the top, which is nice to see. The jury put Kazakhstan second, which I thought would win the jury with 83 points. The online voters put Kazakhstan third with 69 points, so they overall finished second, so they almost agreed on that. I think Kazakhstan really blew me away. It really gripped me, actually. It really did. The staging of it was so beautiful, it really was. It deserved to finish second. But let's see now some of the differences. And there's not a lot of different, like the juries and the televoters disagreed on. There was a few I picked on. The first one was Spain. Spain came second in the online vote with 73 points. However, the jury only put them sixth with 60 points. I thought Spain would do a bit better with the jury. I'm not surprised the online vote, because Spain's a big country and it was a good song and it was one of the fan favourites. But the jury's put them sixth. I guess maybe it was below France, Kazakhstan, Belarus, Georgia, and the Netherlands. Maybe there were, other songs that had big voices that juries would vote for. Maybe with France that was more kid appropriate. Well, Spain, although kids can listen to it, it's more leaning to adults. And maybe sometimes, when you're singing and dancing at the same time, it's really difficult to keep that vocal alive. And it might come across a bit breathlessly, at some points. But I felt Solera did a really good job. And to be fair, they didn't mark her incredibly low, and it did overall finish third, so it wasn't a bad result for Spain. Another split result I really want to point out is Georgia, how they were treated. The jury put them fourth with 69 points. However, the online voters completely disagreed. They gave Georgia 42 points and came 11th, second to last in the online vote. Yeah, that's really low. The online voters wouldn't have put them in the top 10. I guess the jury really awarded points to her voice. That voice, ooh, and it's such a typical song that the juries would love. I guess with the online voters, I think because that song was because we all said Georgia was fashionably late to the party this year because they were the last country to reveal their song, and it was like compared to the others that had like weeks, months, when they released their songs, Georgia only had like a couple of weeks when they released their songs, so they didn't have that much time for people to listen to the song, I guess, compared to the other entries. So maybe that could have played a part on it with the online vote. I'm happy the juries did save it because 11th I feel would have been too low for Georgia. That song really did, and it came sixth overall, so which I predicted right. But yeah, so yeah, I think those two countries. Oh, and also another one I've pointed out, Serbia. They had a bit of a split result as well. They came only 11th with the jury with 35 points. However, with the online votes, they came 7th with 50 points. I thought it would be the other way round. I thought the jury would vote this more than the public. I thought this would be more leaning to a jury song. So I'm surprised that the public ranked it higher and gave it more points than the jury. I thought the public would forget about it, actually. But clearly not. Maybe you got a lot of points from the Balkan region that weren't competing at junior. I think Serbia really was the only ex-Yugoslav country that was competing at this year's contest. Yeah, and I think that they were the only Balkan country really competing at junior at all. We didn't have North Macedonia, didn't have Bulgaria, didn't have Slovenia, Croatia, Montenegro. All these other Balkan countries weren't competing, so yeah, maybe that worked in his favour. Okay, that's the end of part one of me talking about the split results for Junior Eurovision 2020, but part two will be coming up very soon.